Islam, Islam, Islam. 13 love. Namaste. Great greetings. Vita Makem. Allahu Akbar. The truth is the greatest. Divine rising. Grand risen. Islam. This session is going to be titled The Clearing Up of the Concepts of Moorish-American Nationality. Now, this is not an official meeting because the great meeting is already on. All the nations of the earth are now confiding in the Most High and revealing truths from the vaults and aligning and realigning with the planets that are in order, especially Saturn and Jupiter. Now let's get into it. Now, I've been looking and listening online to a lot of sovereigns. And when I say sovereigns, I mean dark-skinned, copper-toned beings, Moors, Aborigines, people of the national people of the land at North America specific. And I've been listening and I've been looking around and I've been seeing a lot of misconception of what Noble Drew Ali actually really did. What he didn't start, but continued in greatness. What makes the nationality of Moorish-Americans specifically different from the nationalities of the other beings on earth who belong to the other nations? What makes us different? Let's explain, let's explore. The difference is, now, what is nationality, right? That is the quality or character of a being belonging to a body politic, a nation, nationhood, and an empire, etc., right? So owing allegiance to something that is of a nation that is the grand governance of the whole. Islam? All right. So that's nationality, right? You have nationalities across the earth that are currently and modernly based on corporations. Specific. These corporations are controlled and governed by the modern British and the modern U.S. agents and assigns who call their government, not ours, democracy or democracy, or in Latin, demons gone crazy. Literally. So you have these corporate nations that seem to be and appear to be tied to land, but they are not, because they're not addressed and originated in their original tongue and tone in the first place, right? It's all business, right? That's not nationhood. That's quasi-nationhood, meaning it's fake only, right? And I was listening to Daylight yesterday, and he happened to mention traveling through realms and dimensions by airplane, right? And one of the things that was interesting that he said was that when you get on these airplanes, you don't know where you're going. You might be going around in circles to a whole nother place called China, but not actually the China that you envisioned in your mind and what you think is China. And it's a whole Twilight Zone episode about that too. I just thought that was something interesting to ponder on, because he may be right. We may not be traveling to these places that we think we are traveling to on these modern maps by these modern colonized Europeans who are colonizers. They're colonized and they're colonizers. Why would they give you anything truthful and anything right, and especially concerning navigation on the earth, right? Right. Right. All right. So you have that, right? So what about Moorish-American nationality, brother Humble? What is this then? Is that corporate? Is that tied to the U.S. Because I seen something that said from the Moorish Scientific of America, we all U.S. Citizens and USA citizens and all of this, and this, right? Let's make it clear. Because, like I said, it's a lot of misconception out there. That means that you're not clear, right? That means that you're speaking on things that you have no knowledge of, but it sounds good to you. That's wrong, right? So let's explore. So let's look at this thing before Noble Drew Ali, right? Because Noble Drew Ali was birthed literally 49 to 50 years after the full enforcement of our treaty, which was 1836. Noble Drew Ali was born in 1886, exactly 49 to 50 years after that establishment and that in full enforcement of divine and natural law through what we call internationally a treaty, right? So look at that magic right there of his whole being and his whole spirit and what he was sent to do from the stars. It's specifically serious, right? And this is why you have in Freemasonic temples, they'll worship Noble Drew Ali like they worship the Sirius star constellation. Because that's where he is from. That's where we are from. And that's where our birthright and its the power of its sovereignty is installed and inherited in us. Right? So just looking at that is magical within itself. Now, you have in this matrix of this story, Abraham Lincoln, right? Now let's look at him. Now, around this time, before the birth of who you call Noble Drew Ali, you already had Moors who were referring to themselves as Moorish-Americans. So, around this time, you had Abraham Lincoln who was aware of this, both secretly and publicly. So, why do you think Abraham Lincoln is on a copper penny? Nothing was pale about him. He was a dark-skinned Moor just like you and me. And he was shunned and what you quote-unquote call whitewashed. So what he did would never be engulfed in your mind from his story to your story, your my story. So you would get the point of why all these things were misconcepted in the first place. So you have this Moor, Abraham Lincoln, who was an American citizen. And then you had the Moorish-American Society, which was birthed around the time of the Freedmen's Bureau, around the time of the Emancipation Proclamation, which Abraham Lincoln established, not to free dark-skinned people from slavery, but to set it up for them to free themselves. They never told you that, right? Don't tell them that, right? Freedmen's Bureau, I want you to do your research. I want you to do your own discovery of your own recent ancestry. FREEDMANS and then Bureau, BUREAU. And I want you to look at Abraham Lincoln's involvement in that establishment. Because at that time, around 1865 and even before that, you already had people calling themselves Moorish-American and American Indian, right? Back then, American Indian was the new black, like it's the new black today. It's a whole new slavery in one. Unless you can clear up the concept of what an Indian is by definition in law, not by the brand name. Are we clear? Now, 1865, right? You already had this expatriation going on. Before Noble Drew Ali, Moorish-American society, praising Allah. And when we say that, we mean truth. It already was dark-skinned copper-toned beings at North America with circle 7 necklaces on their neck in the 1700s. Now, what makes this and us different then from those other nationalities? The difference is, and the biggest difference is, and the major difference is that you want to be on point, and I mean 0 point with, is the fact that Moorish-American nationality and the Moorish divine and national movement of the world is controlled by the one and only, what we call Allah, the truth, the unbegotten truth, the truth that could never be destroyed, is over and in control of this nationality. Now, what does that mean in law and in the real world, or what you call the real world, which is your illusion when you wake up from the real world? What does that mean here then? That means that there is no U.S. control over Moorish Americans, or in other words, i.e., children of the Most High. This is what you don't get, is when we say that, when you look at that, those words meaning Moorish and American, when you abbreviate it, you're looking at the letter M and you're looking at the letter A, right? What does that say to you? Ma. So anything that's coming from Ma is Ma's children. Mother. Morocco is mother, right? The whole earth is Morocco. Mother. This is what we all need to be in alignment with. And to know that the mother of all that we know and that we don't know is in control of this nationality that we call Moorish American, because American Indian is not a nationality. Hebrew Israelite is not a nationality. This nationality is the one because we put everything divine first and is connected with nature and the land. So the divine and what you see, seen and unseen, merges in this world, and that's what we choose to call ourselves. The merging of Mother Nature and the mother of Mother Nature. Okay? How about that? How have you ever heard it like that? That's what makes the difference and the diversity of what we are. So I know we got Moors out there that tell you, no, don't use the ish. Don't use the ISH, because that means something like. Because you know the Irish and then the Polish and then the that's something like us. That's true in a sense. But where did the original ish begin from? Because in Hebrew, ish and isha is man and woman. Isha in Islam is the last so-called prayer when the sun is all the way down in complete darkness, like a womb. Okay. So who's really the original ish or the original man? Are you see where I'm going? Or are you confused on your own birthright? Because I'm looking around and I'm searching online and I'm seeing a lot of this different confusion talk. And I'm only here to declare, to make things clear in Latin. So this is what the difference is. And soon you'll see if you don't right now. And like I said before, when I told you in the beginning, when we say Allah, we mean truth. So you'll never get it misconcepted and twisted with some mystery God or some Allah that you was taught about in school. Allah is everything. Allah is the reason you breathing in every season. It's the truth. And the truth of the energy that exists is why you exist and you live in your body. So it's important to give great thanks and gratitude all the time, not just some of the time, right? Because this is what makes you different, right? And not only are you different, but you have the right to be respected as different. Not only that, but it's already recorded in the rights of indigenous people that was signed by Obama in the early 2000s. The rights of indigenous people, before it gets started in any article, already says that which I invoked. You have the right to be respected as different and the right to be different. Period. Period. That's not something that you need to present as a document. That's something that you need to have in your soul to say. Huh? Or what? See, we need some real men out here that is going to be able to speak the truth without bending on the truth, okay? Because we got a lot of bended backs out here, and I don't like what I see at all, whatsoever. It's incomplete. Because we supposed to be reminding the Moabitess, meaning the original woman on earth, how to enforce this law from the Most High and how to speak it with conviction, the way that I'm talking right now. Right? That's the man job, right? The so-called man, right? You're supposed to be the man so the woman can see not to be a man, but to be in her original position of power. Power has no gender. It is what it is. Right? So I want you to go home and think about all this. And then come back and watch my channel. Right? And I want you to go to my IG, Moorish Gold, 913, the numbers. And I want you to go to rvbaypublications.com. Don't buy nothing yet. Go on there and study. Go on there while you at work and just write down different truths and facts that you explore on that website. Thank me later. Because everything you do here in the physical go to the spiritual, meaning the heavens, and then it comes back down to earth like the Lord's Prayer, which you Christians speak all about, right? But we putting it into action. This is Moorish-American nationality. And our religion is Islamism. Islamism means the active movement of Islam, meaning peace. And Yahshua HaMashiach is your Jesus Christ that we raise and praise in his proper name and divine title with his enforcement of law, because he was a Bay too. Jesus was a Bay too. Jesus was a Bay too. Did he not enforce divine law on earth? All right. Now you got this, right? So now you're not confused, and you should never be confused on what Moorish-American nationality is and what we're all about. Because we're all about the all in all. First, divine first, then national. Our authority is from the Holy Quran of Mecca, in which the all in all hath given to us. In holy matrimony of divine word, as Genesis is to the soul, and as the soul is to Genesis, in alignment with the all-seeing spirit that you live with in your flesh. Whether you like it or not, it's not my concern. Bringing you to right conduct is not my concern or care. That is on your own divine and carnal time and precious energy. I am only here to declare, to make things clear. I self-law am master Islam, real Islam. What Islam started off from in the beginning with divine principles before you see what it is in modern time. Because even Jesus praised Allah, meaning truth, because that's what he enforced. You must get the concept about these things that you were given to on earth, and not the preliminary or the cognitive meaning of it, but the denotation, the actual origin of it, the meat of it, not the milk that you give to the babies. I'm an adult. I need real knowledge and wisdom. So you have to unveil things in order to reveal them to yourself, because it's all your knowledge. It's all your bloodline, and it's all about your divine thought, because you are a thought of the Most High in this place. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Divine being, Humble Bay, Moorish-American National, making things clear. Don't ever get our nationality twisted with other things. And before I go, when it says on the temple cards, the temple nationality cards, I am a citizen of the U.S.A, is in parentheses, meaning it has a meaning other than the meaning that is known to the world. So I challenge you, because I'm not going to tell you, I challenge you to dive deep into the MST of A, meaning the Moorish Science Temple of America, and find out what this man, Noble Drew Ali, Timothy Drew Ali, meant by U.S.A in parentheses, because it don't mean United States of America like you mean. And even if it meant that, it's on the Republican end, or the Republican form of government in which the Moors promised that North America in the first place. So he even knew that you would get misconcepted and twisted in your own ego enough not to ask the question. All you got to do is ask the question. Why y'all not asking questions? Why are y'all constantly slandering and attacking Moorish-American nationality and not finding out what it is and what it does for you and everybody on earth, not just us here at America? Peace and love. I'm out. I'll holla at y'all at a future date. But this is the difference. Islam. Peace and love.